Devil Sniper here, and this is episode number 2 of our career mode with West Ham United. And in this episode, I thought it'd be a great opportunity to sit down and tell you what you can expect from this career mode series and how it's going to work. Yes, it's going to be a realistic career mode series. It's going to have a background story. That is something you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's really that simple. In the background at the moment, we're just going to go through the emails. As you can see, the board want us to finish in mid-table. I believe on the cup run, they want us to finish in 16th or get to round 16. Personally, I'm thinking top 8, top 6 for the Premier League, and for the Cup, I'm thinking quarters, semis. That is my personal targets. Let me know your personal targets for this for season number 1 in a comment section below. So how does it work, and how are we going to make it work? If you watched any of my FIFA 13 career mode for West Ham United, you will know that player recommendations come from you guys. You're commonly known as the Jaffa Cake Army. Oh yes, the Jaffa Cake Army. That is to do with a completely different storyline on FIFA 13. So, how will it all work? When it comes to player recommendations, I will go through a list of the players that you recommend, and I will pick out the ones that look the best. I will then make a player review, a transfer targets review, and this will be incorporated into the episode. So normally the transfer section always takes a little bit longer to get the videos out because it involves a little bit more editing, obviously gathering additional footage and creating the player reviews, etc. And I have a whole new world for player reviews. And with this on this career mode, we're even going to go a little bit madder and a little bit more exuberant. We're going to introduce man of the matches and do our own version of man of match. We're also going to do player of the season. We're also going to do player of the month. We're also introducing a Hall of Fame. Yes, we are introducing a whole wide range of statistics, and we're also going to introduce our own match statistics. I don't particularly like the way the match statistics screen looks, especially when you have a really good game and you look at statistics. It's not a very nice screen at all, so we have our very own statistics screen. So we have plenty of content coming. We also will have youth player reviews. What we're going to do this season, instead of actually having a youth squad and then adapting it into the career mode, when we get youth players, we're then going to pick out a youth player by a poll. You guys are going to select that youth player by a poll. There is actually a website in the link below, but we'll go into that in a moment. By a poll, we're then going to take that player, I'm going to do a review on him, and then we incorporate it into the career mode series. So it's plenty of content coming for you guys. I think it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to get started, to be honest. I really can't wait to get my teeth into this career mode. Obviously, we will have the Daily Jaffa. There's going to be a new way for you guys to interact with the Daily Jaffa. So if you do go to this description, you will see a link to a West Ham United forum. This is basically a free forum that I decided to set up. It was originally an idea from my fellow friend Boom to come up with it for a different reason, and for the same reason in a nutshell. I'm not going to go into details, there's no point, it'll just take up too much time. So basically, on this actual free forum, all you have to do is register, and then you get the opportunity to post daily Jaffa content. You get the chance to vote on players within the poll for transfers. You get to vote on players for review. You get to vote on many different things throughout the career mode. So it really is an interactive career mode. This is not your stereotypical methodical career mode. It's going to be methodical. It's going to have passion. It's going to have a background story, and you guys get to make the decisions. There's going to be a player of the year for the fans. There's going to be a fans player of the year. Yes, you guys are going to have your own player of the year. There's going to be a club player of the year, which is decided by me because obviously I'm the manager. I'm the gaffer. I'm the governor. I am freaking God. It's that simple. On top of that, you guys are going to have your own player of the season, as well as you can vote for your own player of the match, your man of the match. Obviously, there will be my man of the match statistics going up and my votes going up. So obviously, you'll see how mine becomes player of the season, etc., and how the whole system works. But you guys will be able to do yours via the poll on the free forum. So after every game, or every game we have, so there won't be any sim games, you will have a list of the players. Then you get to vote on which player you felt was man of the match based on the highlights you saw and the feedback that I give you. So it makes it interesting and difficult and just interesting and exciting because it's different. It's absolutely different. Now, obviously, if this takes off, it will be introduced into a live career mode I'm going to be doing further down the line, but we're not going to talk about that because that's not West Ham related. Therefore, no need to talk about it. End of. So, let's get back to episode number 2. In the background, you've seen that I've set up the GTN, the Global Transfer Market Network. Do apologise. We have 3 very poor scouts. They're going to go out and do some business for them. I'm not relying on them. These guys are there just to help me perhaps give us ideas, but they're not going to be relied on fully. Perhaps they'll be more utilised to actually doing player scouting on a particular player. We'll look at a player and say, right, go and scout him, go and give me all his details as best you can. And that's what we'd probably use them for, because I don't want to rely on them guys. I want to rely on you. I want the Jaffa Cake Army to provide the goodness, the content and everything. So that's the way it's going to work. Hope you like all those ideas. Hope I haven't overwhelmed you with the ideas. If I have, let me know in the comments below. I will make a separate video, completely a separate entity from the West Ham career mode, explaining it in greater detail if you wish. So let me know in the comments below. Now, let's get back to the proper episode. As you can see, we're going through the list of players, and I'm trying to work out who we want to sell. As I said, Diarra, he's going to be put up for sale. Obviously, we've already put up Maiga. He's gone up for sale. Petric, I'm not 100% sure on. I mean, he's 32 years old. His value of 3.5 million, and he's on £45,000 a week. That is a huge amount of cheese. That's a lot of money that we're paying out for one player. A lot of money, which is something we could do with. You know, that could free up so much more cash. So much more cash. Obviously, the younger players, you know, they're not going to break into the first team. They're not going to break into the first team, so there's no point in getting delusions of grandeur when it comes to the younger players. But what we are going to do, we're going to loan them out for the season. You know, the players that I feel need to go out on loan are going to go out on loan, and the ones that stay behind are the ones who are probably going to get games in the Capital One Cup, the odd league game, etc., and be a little bit more involved, because I feel they're of a good enough standard to play. So that's the way we're going to work with the young players. That's the way I feel it should work. Now we've got to invest in their future, and the only way they can get better is literally by going out and playing at a different club, gaining experience, playing lower league football where the pace of the game is a little bit higher, and it's just a nice way to bed them into a professional football career. Now, contract-wise, thankfully we don't have too many worries. I was a little bit concerned, thinking that Sam might have left me in a bit of a hole, but he hasn't. He's secured good contracts on some of the players. And it's nice to see. I think Andy Carroll, AC, has a 6-year deal. There you go, has a 6-year deal, which I think is fantastic. I think that really is essentially a really good deal. You know, we've got lads on 1-year contracts. Well, they've got a year to prove to me that they need to stay. Obviously, Joey Cole's on a 1-year deal. We'll have to assess how he feels during the season, but I think that's pretty much a foregone conclusion that we're more than likely offer him a contract regardless of his age, because he's such a fantastic player and, of course, a legend within the ranks of the Claret and Blue. That's the way I deem it. Perhaps you'll let me know in the comments section below. So, we're going to hire a scout. We are going to invest in a scout. From the looks of it, it's not going to be the greatest scout in the world. So, Joseph Jones, 1 million quid, or we can go down to Finland. My Finnish is very, very poor. I do have some subscribers from Finland, so phonetically, how the hell do you say that? That would be awesome. Anyway, it's going to be Joseph Jones at £1 million. He's a 3-star on the experience. He's a 3-star on the judgment. It makes logical sense. Now, I have been doing my homework, and as any good manager coming into a fantastic club, and a club of such status as West Ham United, a club that has such high aspirations, and a club that I have high aspirations for, I feel we need to bring in an interesting player, a young player, and my personal choice to kick off the transfer market will be Hughes. Now, the question is, what Hughes am I talking about? Could I be talking about Aaron Hughes? Could I be talking about Mark Hughes? Well, no, not Mark Hughes, because essentially he's a football manager. Am I talking about the veteran that is Lee Hughes? No, of course not. I'm talking about the youngster who plays for Derby County, Will Hughes. He looks a sensational player with a great deal of, and a lot of potential. Yes, a great deal of potential. So that's the player I really would like to bring into the West Ham United club. The player I'd like to bring into the dressing room. Player I think who can grow and develop with the club and lead us on to glory. That is my personal feeling. Let me know how you feel about that in the comment section below. It's not as if I'm going to literally just go out and buy him. I might put an offer in for him if the price is right, but he's a player I feel who can add so much more to the club. Obviously, it's time to have a look around the actual club and sort out the first team. I'm very, I have to have things in order. I don't like them being out of order. This is the main team. What do you think of the actual squad? I think that as a starting 11 is pretty fantastic. As I say, Matty Jarvis has got to have a big season. Ravel Morrison for me has got to prove a lot. I'm looking forward to working with Tompkins and Reed. Hopefully those guys are going to be fantastic for us. We do, of course, have Collins, who I think is going to be sensational, and AC has got to go huge for me this season. He's got his targets. He knows what his targets are. Hopefully he will meet his targets. I'm very, very positive. Jurski Laskalainen, we're going to have to assess how he is throughout the season, but thankfully I have a good relationship with him already. I already have his phone number. I've been speaking to him for a number of years, so I'm already on a level ground when it comes to Jurski Laskalainen. So he'll let me know how he feels throughout his season, and if we do need to bring Adrian in, we certainly shall. So, first things first, Derby County come back to us and say £2.9 million for Will Hughes. I personally feel £2.9 million is acceptable. It's a decent amount of money for the young lad. He's 18 years old. We're paying for potential at the end of the day. In this day and age, potential comes at a price. It's not cheap. It never will be cheap. You have to pay that little bit more in the hope that he is what you think he is, and a fantastic player. I think he can be a fantastic player. So 2.9 million at this moment in time doesn't overly bother me. I think it'll be a great investment, and it will allow me to stamp my own authority on the team, the club, and the actual squad, which is the most important factor. And it will also show to you guys that I'm here for the long term, because I wouldn't bring in an 18-year-old if I was only going to be here for a season or 2 seasons at the max. I've signed a 3-year deal. I have an option to sign an additional 5-year deal, and I plan to sign that additional 5-year deal. I am here for the long haul. I am here for the long haul, so don't panic. As you can see, we do get an offer in for Petric. Now, if I am going to let Petric go, because I don't know a great deal about the lad, I want some cash. I need some cash in the bank. You know, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 4 million quid. I'm probably thinking 3.8 million is a fair offer. So I'm going to go back and say, come on, 3.8 million, you can have your man. But at the same time, I'm going to put it up to you guys. I'm now going to leave it to you guys. As you can see, they've come back and clearly stated £3.4 million. Do we sell him for £3.4 million? It is now down to you guys. As you know, there is a link to a forum in the description below. There will be an actual forum set up and an actual post set up for Petric. Stay or go. You choose. It is that simple. It really is that simple. That's the way this career mode is going to work. Hope you enjoyed episode 2. Hope you enjoyed episode 1. And I hope you can't wait for episode number 3. Because that's when we're going to see transfer target reviews, which I love and adore. And what the hell is Thiago Silva doing going to Man City? Who knows? Anyway, guys, catch you later.